people receive respect from others for several reasons. Age, position, and accomplishments are some of the common determiners of respect. Older people are generally more respected than youngsters. The same goes for people in high positions and people who have achieved great things. Going by these metrics, gaining respect is a tough challenge. It is not easy to accomplish great things, and you can't exactly magic yourself into an older age. But there are ways to gain respect, or better still, demand it. Using these psychological tricks, you will be able to instantly make yourself worthy of respect regardless of your age, status, or accomplishments. Let's get into it. 1. Do not apologize when you do not need to. To many people, saying sorry is a knee-jerk response. The word sorry has become a staple in our daily conversations. We say it when we are passing through a crowd, when we bump into someone while walking down the street. We even say it because we didn't hear what another person said. British people are very fond of the word. A survey of more than 1,000 Brits found that the average person says sorry about 8 times each day, and that 1 in 8 people apologize up to 20 times a day. A Brit would most likely apologize for things such as bad weather or when getting someone's attention. Brits aren't the only ones who say sorry very often. Japanese are famous for their unending apologies, same for citizens of Hong Kong. Other countries apologize less, like Indians or South Koreans. Canadians and Americans are sort of in the middle. Overall, the numbers make it abundantly clear. Humans apologize a lot. But you might be wondering, what does it matter if people apologize a lot? Apologizing is just a polite and nice thing to do, isn't it? Well, yes and no. Apologizing is a great thing to do. It helps communicate regret. It shows you feel remorse for your wrong actions and are saddened by how they affected the other person. The problem comes when you apologize when there is nothing to apologize for. Research shows that over-apologizing makes people think less of you. Psychotherapist Beverly Angel explains in her book, The Power of an Apology, that over-apologizing has the same effect as over-complimenting. Instead of coming across as nice and caring, you come off as insincere and lacking in confidence. It leaves them the impression that you are too passive, too agreeable, and too accommodating. In order to command respect, do not apologize when you did nothing wrong. Saying sorry for things out of your control, like the weather or someone else bumping into you on the road, is totally uncalled for. In the same vein, saying sorry when you're not in the wrong is unnecessary. This is very common in relationships, where one person often apologizes even though they do not feel like they did anything wrong. If you are truly sorry, don't say that you are. Apologizing just to quickly move past a conflict will only allow the other person to constantly walk over you. The next time you are feeling like saying sorry, try to take a moment to ask yourself whether you really need to do so. 2. Openly share your shortcomings. It is natural to want to hide your flaws, and you might think that doing so is a great way to make yourself seem elegant and respectable. After all, the last thing you want to do when trying to make people respect you is come off as incompetent. Well, that is not always the case. Trying so hard to be perfect just makes you look disingenuous. We all know those kinds of people, the kinds who act like they have no insecurities, the kinds who would rather feign perfection than see their flaws for what they are. We know how pretentious they look because we know it's just an act. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has issues. You do not have to be so try-hard about it. If you are so afraid to show or admit to your insecurities, you will come off as just that, insecure, and very insecure people are rarely viewed as respectable. You want to sound confident. You want to be able to admit to your flaws while also not making a huge deal out of it. People who do not stress over their shortcomings or get very emotional when those shortcomings are mentioned are highly respected because they are seen as being comfortable with themselves, their bodies, and their condition. It shows that they understand their condition and are working on fixing them. Not only does showing your flaws make you seem more confident, but it also makes you seem grounded and more human. The pratfall effect is a psychological phenomenon where a person, especially a very confident person, becomes more likable after making a mistake. This is because people can empathize with them and thus tend to grow more fond of them. It takes a lot of bravery to show your flaws. But doing so will not only gain you respect by making you look confident, but it will also endear you to others. Before we move ahead, let's quickly run a survey. If you've been enjoying this video, smash the like button. We want to be sure we are getting it right with you. If you'll want more, click the subscribe button. 3. Do not talk too much. Many people are disturbed by silence. If given the choice to be quiet forever or to never stop talking, most people would choose the latter. The reason isn't far-fetched. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to live with their thoughts, something they do not want to do. The solution: fill the space with as many words as possible. When it comes to speaking, less is more. Silence has a lot of benefits. It fosters creativity because a silent mind can think about things better and be more innovative. Silence helps in decision-making because you have more time to think about the situation and weigh the options before concluding. But silence also has another benefit: it brings respect. There is a popular saying that goes, "Those who know do not speak, and those who speak do not know." People who talk a lot are usually not saying very important things, and people who say unimportant things aren't treated as, well, important. Let's face it, someone who had something meaningful to do wouldn't be sitting around talking all day. On the other hand, people who speak less come across as serious and mysterious. You will notice that the people who are highly respected around you, your boss for example, are not the type who blabber much. When you are silent, you come off as very thoughtful, confident, and focused. You are not bothered by the silence, unlike most other people, and that gives you an aura of respect. You stand out and are seen as someone who knows what they want to do, someone who is busy thinking of important matters, someone who values their time and is working towards their goals. Now, don't just go around all day keeping quiet and pretending to have something important going on in your life. That won't serve you well. You want silence to help you, and you have to actually be doing something to warrant silence. Have plans, work on your goals, focus on important things. You will be beaming with charisma in no time. 4. Do not allow people to talk over you. Let's say you're in a conversation with a group of friends. Maybe you all haven't seen each other in a long time and are just catching up on things. As the conversation goes on, you try to voice an opinion. Then, all of a sudden, someone interrupts you mid-sentence and everyone else just ignores what you were saying. We all know the feeling of frustration from always being cut short and the hint of humiliation, feeling like you and your opinions don't matter much. And when it keeps happening over and over again, you just can't help but wonder, why won't they let me finish what I'm saying? People talk over each other all the time. Admit it, you do it too. Everyone gets cut off or ignored in group discussions. It's just how conversations are sometimes. The problem arises when you're always getting cut short or when you're the only one who is always getting bullied into silence. If you are always at the sacrificial end of the conversation flow, you are not in the best position to command respect. People who are always getting interrupted when speaking aren't really respected. When you constantly allow others to talk over you, you're basically telling them they are more important. You're subconsciously communicating that their opinions, their words, matter more than yours. So what is the solution? Should you interrupt others as well? Should you turn every conversation into a shouting contest to see who can speak louder than the other? No, that would go very bad very quickly. Besides, people who are always interrupting others come off as rude and insensitive, and that isn't your goal. Instead, try this simple trick: do not stop talking. It's that easy. Don't stop talking. Don't change your cadence, don't speak faster or louder. Just keep talking, almost as if no one was interrupting you in the first place. The result is an almost instantaneous silence from the would-be interrupter. To command respect, you always have to finish your sentences when talking. This shows confidence, especially when you do not change your cadence when speaking. It also immediately tells the person what they did wrong. They realize they are interrupting and would probably be more careful going forward. This doesn't mean you should always be the only one talking. You shouldn't bully others into silence by going on and on and on. Give others the room to talk, but when the floor is yours, when it is your turn to speak, do not let anyone walk over you. Final thoughts. As humans, we all want to be valued. We want to feel important. We want our opinions to matter. We want to feel heard. But life makes it difficult sometimes. While these tricks will definitely go a long way in transforming your social life, striving to better yourself, working towards achieving great things, and treating people kindly will do a lot more to earn you respect than any trick would. After all, respect is often given to those who are worthy of it. That's it. You're now learned than you were 10 minutes ago on how to command respect. Thank you for sticking to the end with us. There's still information to make you better if you'll check the recommended videos section.